fall camp intel. It's on and popping. What's going on out there at Nebraska? The good folks at Husker Online, man, Nebraska's on 3 site, they are doing the absolute Lord's work right now. So I would encourage you to get dialed in over there. Nebraska, man, they do fall camp. The first few days of fall camp, at least, a little bit of an old school blue collar way, hard hat lunch pail kind of way. They're in the dorms, baby. They're in the dorms. Some guys, maybe they stay at their apartment. Maybe you stay at your nice spot on campus. Matt Rhule says, get locked in. Bring your HC unit, bring your fan, whatever you want to bring to stay cool during the summer months in Lincoln, Nebraska, bring it to the dorm because that's how we're doing camp. Nebraska fans, y'all been good to us now. We've had a lot of y'all subscribe to this channel and get dialed in for all things college football, all things your Cornhuskers for the 2024 season and beyond. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, want y'all a part of it, man. Don't want y'all to miss a thing that we have going on this platform, the On3 YouTube channel, on this show, The Hard Count. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all for doing that. It feels a lot like a year 2 Matt Rhule team is the reports out of camp thus far. To me, that means there's great buy-in, there's a certain amount of confidence, there's a high level of competitive juice. Usually, those things are prerequisites to winning football games. Because last year, there was a lot of talk about how good the roster is. Hey, if they buy in, that was the key word, if they can buy in, they can win some football games. I think they were very obviously on the doorstep of doing that a season ago. Like, gosh dang, 5 games by 1 score is all it took. 5 games by 1 score is what you lost by last year. If you're Matt Rhule in Nebraska, you were 5 games. Let's be, a little bit hyperbolic here. 5 games for being a 10-win football team. Now, 5 games obviously is pretty solid margin. Nonetheless, I think that's good news if you're a Nebraska fan. Dylan Raiola is who you have your hopes and dreams planted on this upcoming season for 2024. Physically, he is as impressive as he looked during the spring game. Like you're hearing rumblings around like, hey, man, this dude, I'm glad we got him in Nebraska, man. Like Lincoln Riley wanted him at USC. He knows quarterbacks. All right, Ryan Day wanted him at Ohio State. He knows quarterbacks. Kirby Smart, he was committed to Georgia for a long time. Knows quarterbacks. Look at what they have in that room with Carson Beck and where he's going to go in the NFL draft. So the bottom line here is Dylan Raiola thus far as advertised. The more important note, though, that I think we should all pay attention to, Dylan Raiola, as a true freshman, who got spring practice, is going from being the quarterback, which I expect him to win that job wholeheartedly. I think we all understand that. Going from being the quarterback, though, to being the guy. Now, what is the difference there? To be the guy, it's like, hey, we go as that guy goes. Like that is our leader. That is the emotional thermostat. That is the competitive thermostat. We're going to follow him into a dark alley. Does not matter the situation. We're rolling with that guy. And right now it sounds like, again, he is doing the work and taking the proper steps to becoming the guy. He's taking the lineman out to eat. Always a good move for the quarterback, picking up the bill. Flew multiple wide receivers out to his private quarterback coach, I believe in the state of Texas, to get some work in, get some extra timing in during the offseason before they got out to camp. That's a good move. Building the chemistry is massive when you're trying to be the quarterback. Now, it's all well and good to have a high-profile quarterback and to feel good about his arm talent, but it only matters so much as you have weapons for him to capitalize on his ability, right? Good news for Husker fans. Jamal Banks, transfer wide receiver from Wake Forest. They feel real good about him. Isaiah Neer. Remember, when he was at Wyoming and transferred to Texas, there was a very widely held thought in the circles in Austin, Texas, that he was going to be a dude for them. Never really worked out, wasn't able to really be healthy at Texas, transfers to Nebraska. They feel like they got a steal in him. And Isaiah Neer, they feel great about him. Jalen Lloyd, you saw him during the spring game. He was extremely explosive, had a big-time touchdown catch from Raiola in that game where they can stretch the field. Expect him to pick up where he left off. They feel real good about the pass catchers they have for Dylan Raiola. 2 things to track here if you have a membership over at Husker Online. If you don't, again, JD1, $1 for the first month, worth having right now during the fall camp intel days. I fully expect Dylan Raiola to win this job. Does that happen at the end of the month? Does that happen after the first couple of games? Does it happen tomorrow? I don't know. I think it's a matter of when, not if. We all have eyes that work just fine. We saw the spring game. The thing to watch, though, is what happens to Heinrich Haarberg. Because that's a dude now that's a big body, runs like a 4.5 40. He needs to see action some way, somehow. Like, you are doing your team a disservice if you don't have a role for Heinrich Haarberg. So is that Wildcat packages? Do you put him in at the H-back? Do you go a little, I mean, do you find a way to have some trick plays in for him? I don't know what it looks like, but we need to keep an eye on that. That's massive. Other thing to track here. Special teams, man. Now, I'm biased here because I love special teams. I think special teams are beautifully American. I hope the kickoff stays the same way in college football. Don't touch it. NFL, do what you want. Keep the kickoff how you want to. But in college, let's keep it how it is. There are multiple games here in true Nebraska fashion that are going to have very close point spreads, all right? Just the way it is. There's going to be a lot of games here that look like they're in like the somewhere to 4.5 to 2.5 to 3 points kind of point spreads. Going to be a lot of close games for Matt Rhule and co. Surprise, surprise. Based on the track record, that fits in exactly with what we have come to expect from Nebraska. In those games now, the kicking game can make all the difference. Whether it's a last-minute field goal, whether it's kickoff coverage, whether it's making sure you have a good punt to pin them deep when you're up by a touchdown, like however you want to slice it, special teams will play a factor for Nebraska this year. I promise you, man. I promise you. How does that trend during camp? Something to watch for. So that's Nebraska for you. Again, dial in at Husker Online if you want to stay in the know with all things fall camp intel and all things Dylan Raiola and just the best Nebraska side in the entire industry. Lock in over there at Husker Online. Again, JD1, $1 first month. I'll leave it at that. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.